Today we will discuss some more theorems based on subgroup. The topic which is going on is cosets of subgroups. In this theorem it is stated that if there is two cosets, this is cosets not cosets, if there are two cosets of a subgroup H, then these two cosets will be either disjointed. Disjointed means they will not have any common element. It means their intersection will be empty. Either they will be identical. Identical means they will be same. For an example, let us suppose we have a group G and G having three elements A, B, C, and I am taking any elements. I am taking its subgroup H which is having two elements A, C. If I write any cosets, any two cosets, suppose I am writing first cosets by taking element A from G, then AH will be a coset, and again I am generating a new cosets by using B, then BH will be also a set, will be also a left coset. In the first case you will get some elements here, and the second case you will get some elements here. If you see these two sets will be either disjoint, it means they will not contain any common element, or they will be identical. It means either all elements will be same or any elements will not be same. Since here G is not a standard example of a group and H is not a standard example of a subgroup, then so in this case this scenario will not be fulfilled here. But this is for just your for reference. If you are taking here G as an actual group and H is its actual subgroup, then this result will be fulfilled here. To prove this theorem, we will start from a contradiction. Let us suppose AH and BH are two cosets. These are two left cosets, and these are not disjointed. Here we are taking a contradiction here and assuming that these are not disjointed. If they are not disjointed, then it means their intersection will not be empty. It means they will have at least one common element. What will be the type of the elements of AH? It means you will multiply by A in the elements of H. Let us suppose H belongs to H, then AH will belongs to AH. It means this is the coset and this will be the element of coset. Let us suppose AH is the element of this coset. Since these two cosets AH and BH are not disjointed, it means they will have at least one common element. Let us suppose this AH is equivalent to BH dash. Here AH is the element of this first coset and this is the element of this second coset. Because our initial assumption is that they will have at least one common element. So I am here treating these two elements as a common elements and their value is C. Let us suppose the value of these elements is C, it means these are identical. So I am writing these two elements again here. In next line I am multiplying both sides by H inverse. Here the associativity will be applied because H and H inverse, these are the elements of group as well as subgroup. So this will satisfy associativity here. If you are multiplying H by H inverse, then it will gives identity, because H is the element of subgroup and group, and in the case of group and subgroup every element has its own inverse. So while you are multiplying this element by its own inverse, then it will give identity. So this part will be equal to A. Again we are doing nothing here. In the last line we have again applied the associativity in this theorem. Yes, this was the condition which we have earlier written on previous slide. Again we are taking with a different element. Let us suppose H dash is the element of H. So H inverse will be also the element of H, because H is a subgroup. Please make it correct, it is H inverse. If H dash is be an element and H inverse is its inverse, so their composition H dash and H inverse, this will belongs to H. Here we are treating these two elements as a different element. Here H inverse is not the inverse of this H dash. Here we are considering only these two elements because we have assumed, as in our previous slide, that H dash is an element of H and H inverse is also an element of H. So their composition will be also available in H. This is closure composition. As we are multiplying this H dash by H inverse, and this will be gives the some output. It means it will create any result. Let us suppose H double dash is the result. As we know that the closure of these two elements will also belongs to H. So the value of the product of these two elements is suppose H double dash. So H double dash will be the element of H. So here we have assumed that H double dash is the element of H. We are using this result in our equation number 1, which I have written in our previous slide. Here we are replacing this H dash and H inverse by H double dash. So we will start from here. A equal to B H double dash. Now we are multiplying both sides by set H. Here where H is a subgroup, so AH will be equal to B, and in this case we are applying associativity H double dash into H. As our previous lecture we have already discussed that if H be a subgroup and you are creating a cosets by taking any elements from this. Let us suppose I am taking any element C, then CH. This CH will be a left coset, and this cosets will be equal to this set. It means if you are taking any element from the subgroup to create a coset, then the resultant coset will be always equal to or identical to the given subgroup. So this part will be equal to this H. Now we are checking that AH equal to BH. So if we choose two non-disjoint cosets, then they will be identical. So in this case we have proved that these two cosets are identical. Hence we have assumed, if we assume that the two cosets are non-disjoint cosets, then they will be identical. We have assumed that these are non-disjoint. It means they have at least one common element. Disjoint means they will not have any common element. If we are assuming that these are non-disjoint, then we are going to, on the result, then they are identical. It means they will be identical. It means if we are assuming that they have some common elements, then our assumption is wrong. They will have all common elements. If we are assuming some elements are common in these two cosets, then not only some elements are common, all elements are common. So these are identical. So our initial assumption may be wrong. So we cannot prove that if these two cosets are identical, are disjoint, then they will not be identical. They will be already identical. There is only one scenario in which these two cosets will not be identical. It means they will not have any common element. It means their intersection will be empty. This is again a similar theorem as we have proved on earlier theorem. Here it is stated that these are two cosets which are equal or identical for some elements of G, and AB inverse is also belongs to H. Then AB inverse belongs to H. It means if the AB equal to BH, then AB inverse will belongs to H, and we will also prove its converse. So first we will start from our main statement. It means necessary condition. Here it is given that AH equal to BH. Since these two cosets are identical, so the one element of this coset will be equal to the one element of BH. Let us suppose AH is the element of first coset and BH is the element of second coset, and these two elements are identical or equal. So here again we are multiplying both sides by H inverse, and we will apply the associative property in first hand, and we will prove this condition, equation 1, and the same equation we have proved in our previous theorem. Again we are taking same example. Let us suppose there are two elements, the element H dash which belongs to H, as you have assumed here. In this assumption we are taking that this H dash belongs to H, and H is a subgroup, and here we have assumed that this H belongs to H. If H is belonging to a capital H, then its inverse will also belongs to H. So we will apply here the closure axiom. It means their product, their composition will also belongs to H. It means there will be a value of this composition. Let us suppose the value of this composition is H double dash. So this is H double dash. So we can use H double dash in equation number first at the place of H dash H inverse. So here we are using H double dash. Again we are applying here associative property. Here we are writing H double dash into B inverse and H double dash into B inverse here. After making a small correction here, we will see that this AB inverse, which is equal to H double dash. As our initial assumption, we are saying that H double dash is the element. H double dash is equal to H dash and H dash H inverse, and we have assumed that it is belonging to H. So we can say that H double dash is belonging to H, and H double dash is equal to AB inverse. So we can say that AB inverse is belongs to H. So our necessary condition has been proved here. To prove the converse of this theorem, first we will assume that H double dash is belonging to H and AB inverse is belonging to H. It is the necessary condition. Here we are starting that AB inverse is belonging to H. Now this is the composition of two elements. First element is A and second element is B inverse. So there will be a resultant value of this composition. Let us suppose that the resultant value of this composition is equal to H. So we can say that this is H and H is belonging to H, which is true. And by this composition we will apply right multiplication by B. So by using the commutative property in this scenario, we can write A equal to BH. In this case, we are multiplying by H both sides from right, so that you will get AH will be equal to BHH. Here we are applying only associative property, and as we have assumed that this H is belonging to H, it means you are creating a coset by considering the element of subgroup also. Then this HH will be equal to capital H. So this part will be equal to capital H. So we can say that AH will be equal to BH.